Hello BookTube. I encountered a problem last week. I, for some miraculous reason, finished all the books on my November TBR, and there were still more than 2 weeks left in November. Now, I am very aware that this has never happened to me in the history of my time on BookTube and previously. Yeah, I know, I finished a TBR, what's that? And I finished all of the books? Yeah, who am I? What's happened? Are you okay, Janelle? So, this is a nonfiction November TBR part 2. Does BookTube do those things? I don't know, but I'll start. The first book on my second November TBR is The Vagina Bible by Dr. Jen Gunter. Now, Dr. Jen Gunter is a gynecologist, and she is a very prolific online presence, particularly on Twitter, although she also has a blog, and she, in addition to being very pro-choice and having personally performed abortions herself and defending the right to abortion and reproductive freedom, she also takes on really big wellness companies like Goop that try to convince you that something is wrong with your body so that you can, so that you will pay absurd amounts of money to fix it. And oftentimes, these products do nothing, but sometimes they actively harm you. And so she is, through the course of this book, going through and talking about myths about the vagina, and so through the course of this book, she's not only tackling myths and old wives' tales about vaginal health, she's also educating the reader with accurate scientific and medical information about menstruation and puberty and STDs and menopause and and everything you could possibly imagine, and it's just incredibly comprehensive. I'm already about halfway through, and I'm really enjoying it. It is very factual, but it's also written in a very engaging way. I've learned so much, and I really recommend this. This is I am having a fantastic time reading it. The second book on my second nonfiction November TBR is Riot Days by Marina Alyokhina. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I did look it up. So this is a really short memoir written by a woman who is in a feminist punk rock band in Russia called Pussy Riot. In 2012, they performed a song to protest the involvement of the Orthodox Russian Church with Vladimir Putin's authoritarian regime, and it led to them going to all being sentenced to a prison camp. And this is written by one member of the band about her experience, and it's quite short. It's under 200 pages, but I am really looking forward to it. Oh, this is the author. Doesn't she look super cool? The third book on my new TBR is No God But God by Reza Aslan, and this is about the origins and evolution of Islam. Now, I have read one other book by Reza Aslan, and that was Zealot, which is a historical account of what we know about Jesus of Nazareth. It basically combs through all the historical knowledge that we know about Jesus Christ, the man who became Jesus Christ, and it turns out that he was an absolute revolutionary. I really enjoyed that book. I thought it was really great, and No God But God is his sort of introduction to Islam. This has been on my TBR for quite some time. That I can finally knock it off my reading list. I expect it will be very good. The last book on my new TBR, and one that I do not think I will finish by the end of November, is The Unabridged Journals of Sylvia, Plath. Now, obviously, this is quite a brick. It's over 700 pages. And I'm sure all of you know that Sylvia Plath is most famous for running the Bell Jar. I read that for the first time about 4 years ago, and I really loved it. And then I read Ariel, which is her collection of poetry, and I really love that as well. I just think she has this brilliant insight into things, and I just love the way that Plath sees the world. Amy over at From the Dusty Bookshelf likes to read journals and memoirs and unabridged diaries and letters and things like that, and so she kind of got me wondering if some of my other favorite authors had similar collections, and it turns out that Sylvia Plath does. So I expect to really enjoy this, although I probably will not finish it by the end of November. So those are the new books on my November TBR. An additional 4. I Just thought I would keep everyone updated, because why not? Let me know if you have read any of these books, or if you are participating in Nonfiction November, and I will see you soon. Bye!